by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.
I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to put him. What do we do now?
Back to them, or do you want to stay with Donald Trump?
Fuck Joe Biden.
To go along with this, and I'm seeing through all of your lies, Barack Obama, you wicked, wicked devil!
Welcome back to another night of Shtick with Koolfrogg. I do have AmericaShirts with me. How's it going, buddy?
Yo, what's up?
Well, you know, it's one day, and it seems as though it's every single day that passes, somebody in the administration decides to do something freaking stupid as shit.
Really?
Happy Monday, Dragon Man Sassons. Oh.
Yo, what's up?
So, yeah, really, exactly. Every single time that somebody has something to say, they say something stupid, they fuck it up, or they're just plain retarded. And yes, I said that word. That's how stupid they actually are. Doing good. That's awesome, Dragon Man. I'm glad you're doing well. So it says earlier today, we reported that Jill Biden had mostly a Latino audience, that they were as unique as breakfast tacos during a speech in San Antonio, Texas. Quote, maybe that's true that Latinx people, but for real Hispanics, it's actually kind of insulting, Jimenez said. She seriously calls them breakfast tacos. Watch this.
But we can't get those things on our own. Raul helped build this organization with the understanding that the diversity of this community, as distinct as the Bogotas of the Bronx, as beautiful as the blossoms of Miami, and as unique as the breakfast tacos here in San Antonio, is your strength.
Wow.
You moron freaking biatch. What the hell? And yes, exactly, Dragon Man. There's so many quote unquote Latinos, Hispanics that hate the term with the X on the end of it because it doesn't make sense. Has nothing to do with anything but this administration trying to push propaganda bullcrap. This is what happens when they try too hard. I don't think they're trying too hard. I think they're not trying hard enough. Because if they would actually try, they would actually find out that these people don't like being called any of this. They don't want anything to do with this bullcrap. And them saying that most of the crowd was Hispanics, and then not showing us the crowd to actually show us that they were mainly Hispanics, makes me believe that it's not true. Most likely it was a bunch of big fat white women thinking that they're cool and they're going to go and join something or whatever and, you know, clap along. Yeah, you're right. She did marry Joe, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, he killed for her love. Allegedly.
Yeah, we don't know that for sure, but, you know,
no, of course
something to that effect, you know, something happened.
Allegedly.
So it says, in case the White House needed a reminder, no, we are not tacos, Jimenez declared. Jimenez explained Hispanics aren't a monolith. We are very real, diverse people shaped by different histories, food, and even variances of language. We have dreams and aspirations. We want an education to work and to get ahead. They're just like normal, regular human beings. Yeah, I'll repeat that again. Normal, regular human beings. They don't want to be considered something else. Yeah, they call themselves, Latinos or Hispanics, but that's so you can actually recognize where they're from. That's why I say I'm Polish, because my ancestors came from Poland. Fuck off calling me white. The last time, seriously, I had a job for a short bit. When I first moved into this town, I was working at a local shoe store, and I was working with a couple of women or whatever that had no clue about anything to do with shoes. They just were there to actually run a cash register. And one of the first things I said when she actually said, "Oh, you need to fill this part out," I said, "No, I don't. It doesn't have what I said, "Yes, I did." And she says, "No, you didn't." I'm like, "Look closer." She's, "Why did you mark other?" I said, "Because I'm not fucking white. I'm Polish, bitch." She's like, "Huh?" I said, "I'm Polish. Stop. I'm not white." "Well, then you look pretty white to me." I'm like, "Yeah, okay. And you look pretty like pinks to me." And she kind of looked at me a little strange, and I'm like, "Exactly. You don't like it. I don't like it either. Quit calling me something that I'm not. I am a Polish man. That's it." So, needless to say, I only lasted like 2 days, because then I just kind of I looked at her and was like,
Well,
"Your
aren't,
$11 an hour isn't worth it to me."
aren't you just a racist sack of shit? Jeez.
Apparently. You go pay attention to your mom. Yeah, well, go turn it on TV.
Oh, the kid.
Yeah, my tadpole's in the room. He decided he wants to actually go watch the TV. I don't know if mom's telling him that he can't watch the TV or what's going on. Close the door, buddy. Yeah, go watch the TV, bud. Yeah, I'm sorry. It happens when you have children. If anybody wants to help support me and my child, they can go down below. They can hit up the buymeacoffee.com/Koolfrogg and support me immediately. Because I'm assuming after watching a couple things that I watched tonight that monetization of this channel is going to be something that's going to be very difficult. Because we talk politics and we talk news, and YouTube doesn't like our opinions most of the time. So I'm telling you, check out the other links. There's Rumble links, there's Locals links. Come check us out. We will totally move ourselves to those platforms as time moves on, because eventually I'm sure this channel will not exist because of the way things are going and the way people actually think. It's really ridiculous when you think about it. And if you go back, you can watch a couple episodes that we previously just did within the last couple weeks here, whatever. Go check out the 4th of July Independence Day one that I did. I had to actually edit 4 different copyright strikes out of it for music, video, the I Am Speed guy didn't like us actually watching his idiocy lighting Pikachu on fire and almost starting his house on fire. He seriously didn't like it. He actually struck the channel 3 separate times for the same content. He removed all of the stuff that had anything to do with him. It's like, whatever, dude. I'm not monetized anyway. I'm not making anything. I'm not going to make any money off of you. If anything is going to happen, you can F off. And pretty much that's how I feel about it. And I removed everything that was in there. Just like wiped it out. Said, screw it. Because you can still watch it. Where? Rumble. Go over to Rumble and you can see an unedited version of everything that's there.
Yes, because Rumble doesn't have shit rules.
Right.
Because I was just saying that on Experts. They don't have shit rules.
Rumble actually cares about their people.
Written by Viva and Barnes.
Yeah.
Well, that hasn't gone
Exactly.
officially into it yet, but like that's the plan. That's what's written out. So that's what's gonna be initiated there officially. So they had some kinks to work out because they were based in Canada. Now they're based in Florida. So now they're fixing
Which is
all of that.
awesome. I love the fact that Viva decided to actually move himself out of Canada and get himself out in
I
Florida.
know.
That's one of the best things that
I
I've
was
ever
talking
heard.
about Rumble, but yeah, Viva did that too. Viva escaped Kanakistan. Sadly, it's Kanakistan.
Another place named after a Stan. That's awesome. I did. Hold on one second. Can you swing the door?
There is more info from the Hunter Biden iPhone as well. We shall cover here after a bit.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. I really seriously didn't look up a whole bunch of stuff for today because I have a kid. I have responsibilities that I take care of during the day. I don't have to just sit here all day long watching videos and going through news articles trying to find stuff to actually go through. It's really not the easiest thing to do. I usually turn on like Congress or something so I have something to listen to, and I listen to that. I don't really pay attention to everything that's going on, but I do pull up news articles every once in a while and be like, "Oh, what the heck?" Or kind of hear little bits and pieces like this stuff here. So we're looking back more than 13 billion years. President Biden shares image from almost the beginning of the universe taken by a $10 billion time machine, James Webb Space Telescope.
Well, if anybody would know what it looked like 13 billion years ago, that is, if we have 13 billion years of the universe, if anyone would know that, it would be Joe Biden. Just saying.
I like the one where he was in a tank, green lighting, and pretty nice background music. Oh, you talking about Hunter? We'll get it. We can get into some more Hunter stuff tonight eventually. I'm fine with that. But what's up with this time machine here? Really, we can actually see back 13 billion years ago all of a sudden?
Well, I have my
Yeah,
objections to
Hunter.
these sort of things of this nature myself. It would probably take too long and too much of an off track to explain in full. But I mean, like I said, if anybody would know what it looked like 13 billion years ago, it would be Joe Biden. Him and or Nancy Pelosi, just one of the two.
Standing next to each other. Yeah.
Right.
I'm sure there's somebody else like Diane Feinstein. She was probably standing next to him too.
Oh God,
Yeah, right.
Diane Frankenstein.
So let's see what this says here real quick. It says President Biden released the first ever
But
image
I
of the
don't know if
James Webb
she's that
Telescope.
old because she's Frankenstein's monster. So like,
She's been in Congress for over
she's been
60
pieced
freaking years.
together.
Dude.
So like, I mean, is her ugliness because she was like this amorphous creature? Just like I don't,
How
I
do
mean,
you be
these are
part of
questions. These are deep
Congress for
questions
more
you have
than
to ask.
60 years? That's the big problem right there. When you actually sit in Congress and you're reelected over and over and over again, so many times.
She's Soros's Frankenstein monster.
There has to be something that's out there that's allowing these people to continue. Oh, George Soros. There is somebody that's out there that's paying for all this to actually happen so that these people can actually sit there and do absolutely nothing for us.
And everything for them.
Right, exactly. They just do it for themselves.
And for their lovely globalist masters that pay them. Because that's where they get the money.
Jimmy, Frankenstein's monster is technically a scab or amalgamation of parts from different beings.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly how you would scientifically describe Diane Frankenstein, but whatever the hell she is whatever the hell she is. She's this like Frankenstein monster. That's let's put it that way. Trust me, people that work there in the Senate know she's a Frankenstein monster. We'll just put it that way.
A scab. But here, look at this fun picture that was taken from 13 billion years ago in color.
I am so impressed. I care so deeply. I am deeply moved. Oh, wait. No, I'm not. Shit. I mean, like, does Joe Biden think that this is going to somehow distract from, like, Hunter's iPhone of, like, oh, we gotta...
Aren't you being mesmerized by the
no,
flow of
no
light
thing.
and color?
No. I'm still scarred by all of the child porn. Allegedly. Allegedly. And even though it's in front of your face, it's still allegedly because this is YouTube.
6.5 months ago, a rocket launched from Earth, carrying the world's newest, most powerful deep space telescope on a journey 1 million miles into the cosmos. First of all, that blows my mind. 1 million miles into the cosmos.
It blows his mind.
As an international...
Oh my God!
What
many
mind?
things. It's exactly like so many things to say from that one statement. That just blows my mind. Oh my God!
You have to have something to blow, Joe.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
I don't give a good googly moogly.
collaboration. This telescope embodies how America leads the world, not by the example of our power, but the power of our example. A partnership with others. It symbolizes the relentless spirit of American ingenuity. And it shows what we can achieve, what more we can discover, not just about distant places, but about our very own planet and climate, like NASA's Earth Systems Observatory that we launched last year.
So don't pay attention to my crackhead son who has little children dancing on top of his naked body. Don't pay attention to that. Don't pay attention to the text messages that have all kinds of different things, which we shall talk about and expand upon here after a bit when we get a little bit more of an audience, so I don't have to repeat myself. But I have a little bit of
this
intel myself. But
here, watch this. This picture that was taken, this one right here, this is the inside of his head.
Now that makes more sense.
That's what was blown.
It's
was
13
this
billion years of like just empty stars and
there was
black voids.
One big huge shiny star right in the center, and he's like, oh, 13 billion years ago.
My brain
must invest in science
tried
and
to
technology.
form itself, but couldn't do it all the way.
That's why the federal government must invest in science and technology more than we have in the past. These images are going to remind the world that America can do big things, and they remind the American people, especially our children,
to
that
not
there's nothing
look
beyond our capacity.
at this stuff from my son's iPhone.
Stay away from our children, Joe.
That there's nothing beyond our capacity. Nothing beyond our capacity.
Yeah, for you
possibilities
freakazoids,
no
there
one
isn't
has
anything
ever
beyond your
seen
capacity to
before.
do with children,
We
and
can
you've
go
shown
places-
that. That's for damn sure. That's for damn sure.
We can see possibilities no one has ever seen before. We can go places
Dwight.
no one has ever gone before. You know, you've heard me say over and over again, America is defined by one single word.
I was in the
read all-
foothills of the ship.
I was in a foot.
I was in the foot. Play the damn clip.
Here's Dwight Zombie says hair sniffer.
Yes.
I'm thinking he's sniffing more than just hair. So stop whining about the price of gas. Yeah.
Right,
Possibilities.
exactly.
Possibilities. I want to thank the team at NASA for once again showing that that's who we are. That's who we are as a nation of possibilities. And now let's take a look at the very first image from this miraculous telescope.
Kill me. He's literally shut down our energy, shut down everything, and he sits there and does this shit. This horse shit. This is gaslighting on another level right here. Like,
did you hear his mind being blown?
Collapsing our infrastructure in front of your face. No mass shipment of any kind in this fall. This freaking fall. Food shortages like you've never seen before in this country's history. And yet we're like, oh, this country can do anything. Oh, yeah, even like selling out all of our oil reserves. Again, the oil reserves in this country are for war and wartime because that's what our military runs off of. That's no longer there.
Sell them to a company in China so that way, that Hunter Biden owns or has stock in.
And then, of course, he's got to give 10% to the big guy.
Yeah, right. 10% to the big guy because, if it wasn't for the big guy. Did you hear his mind being blown again?
Yeah, it was just like an empty wind. It was like a wind whistling through a big, hollow, empty jar or something, right? It's like, it's just...
They're all clapping at that picture like, oh, look at me dead. Yay.
Yeah, no one gives a freaking shit.
What are we looking at?
Right, exactly. That's what they're all asking. They have no damn clue anyway.
I would bet that because if you look close enough at when you actually watch that video, you see that he's sitting there over here, and you see that Kamala was sitting over on the other side. I bet she was just a cackling. See, she's sitting right here. She had to have been just laughing at it. She's like, "Oh my God, this is so funny," because this is totally not what happened.
And again, this is on their fake stage that they constantly have to set up, that they walk Biden out on to sit down to do shit, and then they walk him back out because they can't even control him in the White House.
You can see the lights above. You can see the where the stage actually kind of...
I mean, nobody's ever done shit like this before. Every freaking time he makes a presentation, it's on a literal stage with screens and everything. Like, this is literally a stage. While Obama and Susan Rice are in the White House doing everything, he's out here dancing around on the stage telling you, oh, I'm the president. Fuck off. We all know what the hell is going on here, ladies and gentlemen. We all know who's running the show because he can't even be in the freaking White House. They gotta march him out on a goddamn stage and then march him back. I mean, I know he's in the White House.
They're looking for habitable planets. So, I mean, Dwight, there's one in the Stick Show setup. You can click that if you want to actually join us. I'm fine with that. So, I mean, they're looking for habitable planets. And they're like, here, look, there's maybe one right there. See, he's pointing at it. And they're like, oh, yeah. Yeah, we should go check that planet out and see if we can actually go and take that over as well. Spread our democracy. What was that? Oh, no, that's fine. We'll get there. So, oh, look at that picture. That's an even worse picture.
The hell is that?
I don't know. The uncolored version, the black and white version, this. It's exactly what it is. It's the same exact picture. And then they went and they colorized it and said, here, look at what we did. We found habitable planets that are 30 million miles away.
This is what they do.
Travel there.
Right. This is what they do with like the pictures of the black holes. Allegedly, they're like, "Oh my God, like we have pictures of black holes and this and that," and like they'll sit there and they'll do it, and it's basically like the Kyle Rittenhouse, like, look, he pointed at the gun, he pointed the gun at the guy thing. where it's like 5 or 2 or 3 pixels of something, and it's not even it's not even that accurate. You know?
Hey, Dwight, how's it going? Hello, Dwight. Apparently something's not working for him. We'll let him catch up.
I guess.
I mean, and it throws a whole bunch of ridiculous mumbo jumbo. The Hubble telescope was launched in April 1990. It circles the Earth speed of 17,000 miles per hour. A low Earth orbit at 300. What do we need to know about that for? Dwight, I think you're having more issues than you think. But, you know, I mean, we seen and we talked about what we need to talk about it. You know, we watched his mind being blown.
Which was just an yes, it was just an empty, hollow blowing sound. It's like it's like if a hole was cut on the other side of a mason jar, and you just had the wind blow through it, just like.
That's what I should do. I should record myself doing that into the microphone, and then when we start a show, we'll just play a clip of that. I don't even know where to go anymore. Should we talk about Hunter? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hello? There's so much crap that's going on right now. Oh, you got that wrong? That's fun. Is there a video? Oh, yes. We're just watching Joe Biden being an idiot.
2000, Fort Hood, Texas, 2009. 13 dead, 30 more injured. Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, 1918. 17 dead, 17 injured.
1918. He doesn't even know how old he really is. He's like, 1918. I was there.
I was in the foot of. Yes.
Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, 1918. 17 dead, 17 injured. In both places, countless others suffering with invisible wounds.
Invisible wounds?
Parkland, Florida, 1918.
Hello.
They cause invisible wounds. Koolfrogg. Don't you know?
I heard the
Yes,
hello.
yes.
How's it going, Dwight? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, man?
Not much.
Dragon Man says it must be shell shock from World War One. Oh my god. He's like, oh, the World War One. Is that what's wrong with him? Is it the chlorine gas? Like, did he get like what?
Many things. It's proof that despite the naysayers, we can make meaningful progress on dealing with gun violence. Because make no mistake, sit down, you'll hear what I have to say. If you think you...
We all know what you're going to say.
Let me finish my comment. Let him talk. No one, okay? Because make no mistake about it, this legislation is real progress, but more has to be done.
He gets attacked by a protester and says, sit down. You hear what I have to say.
Did you guys see the shit where he literally read like in quote and
Yeah, last night's episode.
yeah, like are they are
Repeat the line.
like what the fuck, dude? Like is he really that stupid, or are they trying to make him look that stupid? Like
He's really seriously that stupid.
Because
I don't
he's
know,
been a
man.
dumbass
I don't
all of his
know.
life, and
He's
now
the
he's
one
got
that's
freaking
reading the
dementia.
teleprompter.
I mean, he's had 2 brain surgeries. You can see around the head, at the top of his skull where they had to cut his skull open twice. I mean, like, he's effed up. Obama said himself.
Maybe they want him to look that stupid though. Maybe I don't know.
Well, yeah, they want the dum-dum there, so everybody blames him because he's an easy one to blame, while everybody else in the background does all the shit. But if you recognize the whole kit and caboodle for what it is, then you know the desired effect of the people that are running things.
Yeah, all right.
Don't get it.
Let's think about this, fellas. All right, let's think about if they want him to look and appear that stupid, then what is the goal? Because obviously this dude's a fucking moron. What's the goal of what they're what is the goal that they would be trying to achieve to make him look like a fucking moron? What's
There's
the
nothing
goal?
they could do to make him look like more of a moron than he already is. He's
No, I'm not talking
nothing
right or
they can
left.
do.
I'm
He's
not
just
talking
that
this or
stupid.
there. If they want him to be a moron, what goal is it that they're trying to achieve?
They're trying to get you to place blame on him whenever the shit hits the fan, and then, oh, well, we'll just go after him or the US government, the hell with like all
Yeah,
these people and
yeah,
whatever else, and
okay.
then they
Yes,
get to
I
do whatever they
agree.
want
I
after that.
agree.
It's like the Sri Lankan type thing that's happening
Well,
now. Like
well,
that, their shit is at the fan over there. They went in and they're just like going crazy in their government buildings, just running everybody out because they're all a bunch of globalist hack jobs that are just like him.
he's the
And
pawn. You know, yeah, and in like Sri Lanka, everything's going to shit, but America is like that. It's a hard nut to crack. You know, America's like, we got too many fucking people that are like, America, fuck yeah, and we're gonna fucking uh, we're gonna be Americans, but what is it that is what are they trying to crack, man? What is it that his stupid ass is trying to say that they're trying to crack?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
That's why I'm sitting here in silence because I have no clue what you just fucking said, man.
All right, well, all right. Well, this dude is talking, and he's
Killed by a cum shot. What's up?
he's representing shamefully representing America. What is it that he's trying to speak to the world? What is it? What is it that he's trying to say? It's like what is he trying to say? What the fuck is he trying to say? Besides, I'm a fucking old man that's fucking retarded and end of quote. What the fuck is he trying to say, man?
End of quote. Repeat the line.
Repeat the line.
Do any of you guys have the answer to that shit? Fuck, man.
No.
I mean, what are you asking? Like, what is his intention? Like, why did
No,
he do
well,
this? Like, why is
I'm saying I don't know. I'm saying I don't know, and I would like like a professional response to his fucking idiocracy. That was a movie. I don't know if
idiocy.
that's idiocy.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, I don't know if that's a fucking.
No, you're right.
Fucking dude, man. Fucking dude. Like, explain it. Explain it. Give him. Yeah. Oh, okay. Let's play a game where you guys are both fucking super leftists, and you are pro Joe Biden all the way, 100%, 100% pro Joe Biden. He's excellent.
My brain is melting already.
He's excellent. Awesome. He's the most awesome dude ever.
See, hold on here. So Dragon Man says, I think Zombie may be saying, how can they pull this nonsense off and still be believable?
Dude. Still be believable without being like brainwashed. No, just okay. Please play that. I'm not. I'm only asking. Play that video again, and then please 100%, 100% be pro Joe.
I can't be pro Joe. I've never been pro Joe. I haven't been pro Joe since I've known the man.
No,
since I was a young man, sitting in high school and understanding what he had done to the poor community on both crime and drug use, and passing these stupid ass laws. I've hated him since then. I can't put myself in that state of mind of actually thinking this guy is worth damn shit. Hey, Sully.
Hey, you know what a good fucking philosopher does? Is a good philosopher is able to dispute any fucking meaning, regardless of how fucking.
Who said I was a philosophizer?
You are.
You're a philosopher, Raptor?
You know you are. You know you're a fucking philosopher. You know you're a fucking philosopher. If you weren't a philosopher, then you could just state facts and shit. No, you're a fucking philosopher, dude. If it fuck.
I mean, so it's here. It's this. Killshot says Joe Biden likes his leftovers. If you've seen Farron's video, you'll understand. Sully says, "Have you read the headlines yet, Shirts?"
Oh, we haven't gone over everything yet. We're just
we're just kind of messing around at the moment.
I do have some news about some things. I'm going to wait a little bit for that. But as far as headlines are concerned, they did get, and we were just playing the clip from Joe Biden making the speech about the gun bill.
Says if you say philosopher enough, it's like it's not even a word anymore.
It's like if you say that, Bill Gates is a philanthropist or whatever.
Yeah, fuck you. All right, I get it.
This article just points out how stupid he really is. It's seriously.
With that, I'm not gonna slide it by.
He's really breaking up.
Yeah, he is. That's what he gets for.
That's what he gets.
Hey, no, I fuck. No, I need to talk to you guys sober, man. I want to have a sober conversation. I do.
But why do you drink before you come on here then?
Well, because the days that I work 4 days a week, and then I get 3 days off, and then my old lady's a bartender, and I go and I hang out with her at the bar, and then I fucking drink, and then I get all fucked up, and then I'm always all fucked up by the time I talk to you guys. But I want to talk to you guys sober, and I think that I think I'd have a good conversation with you guys if I was sober. But it's just you guys' days don't fall in part with my days of whatever the fuck.
We only don't go live like Friday night. Every other night we are live. 10 o'clock Mountain Standard
Yeah, well,
Time.
hey, I'm here, bro. I'm here. Man, I'm here. I'm even up. I might throw a little bitter piece in there of fucking something that's relevant, you know. Just I like talking to you guys.
Just might.
I like giving shirts shit.
RJ says, "Yeah, Frog. Work your schedule around us drinking."
Hey,
I don't think
glad.
that's what was being said.
That's fun.
Anywho's.
But what's tonight's subject? What's tonight's topic?
It's Monday night. We're just gonna read some news articles and kind of pick fun at Joe Biden. That's what we've been doing, is picking fun at Joe Biden. Eventually, AmericaShirts has some information that he's going to actually divulge on, but we're not going to do it early. We're going to wait a little bit, and then when he does that, I'm actually going to kick you out the room so he doesn't get disturbed while he's
AmericaShirts, dude. I went to AmericaShirts. I went to AmericaShirt. I went to AmericaShirts. You got to go to AmericaShirts first only, or some shit. What's your website, dude?
No, it's just AmericaShirts on Rumble. Go to Rumble and put in AmericaShirts, capital A, capital S. You'll find them.
No, AmericaShirts.com's owned by a fucking Canadian.
No, it's AmericaShirts.com.
Yeah, there we go.
Which is still not a relevant website.
But why are you doing the .com in your name of AmericaShirts.com? If that's not your webpage.
Sully says, "Did I just walk into an AA meeting?"
My God. I don't think so.
You're gonna have to lengthen your name, bro. You're gonna have to lengthen your name. I mean,
what? I don't know what you're talking about.
First Shirts, America First Shirts.
No, AmericaShirts are first.
AmericaShirts first.com. Yeah, your shit's
it's
like
it's so easy and so simple. I only messed it up for the first couple episodes.
Yeah, no, your shit is like other websites. So maybe you should rethink your name. I'm just saying.
Me, I'm not drunk. I seriously, I wouldn't
Hey,
mind having
I'm drunk. So I get excuses.
So
that and all right, I'm gonna chill.
So everybody, this is Dwight Zombie. Yes, he is a little drunk, but it's Dwight Zombie. He should maybe think of lengthening his name a little bit to DwightZombieIsDrunk.com.
I don't think he wants a website for that.
He's just gonna break up and
oh my god!
Oh, it's so fun. That's so fun.
So let's go to this, because this is an important thing to discuss here before we get to anything else. President Biden at the speech today for the gun bill that passed both houses. This is the new gun bill with red flag laws, the boyfriend loophole, so that, you know, if your, boyfriend, you accuse your boyfriend. So if you pull an Amber Heard on your, if an Amber Heard pulls something on her boyfriend, she can get all of his rights removed because, well, she's pissed. So that's a thing now. That's a federal law. Again, all of this should be taken to the Supreme Court. This is a absolute violation of the Second Amendment, completely unconstitutional. It says the president gathered lawmakers, stakeholders.
Explain yourself, Shirts. Why is that? Why
Good
is
night,
that
Dragon Man. Have a good.
Why is that a violation? Because
red flag laws. Red flag laws.
Yeah. You don't just get to saying what you want. You gotta fucking explain.
I'm not drinking. It's Dwight that's
I'm
drunk.
not trying. I'm not. Yeah, I don't give a shit if you're tricking me, but explain yourself.
I said I'm not drinking.
Hey. Well, no,
So
but that's what fucking Republicans. That's what a lot of Republicans do. Is they just say, "Oh yeah, this is what it is. This is how it goes," and this is the fucking blah blah blah.
I feel like I should have a drink.
Yeah, maybe you should have a drink, because maybe you should fucking explain what you're saying.
I would explain something if I could actually hear a full question.
I'm well, I'm just giving fucking shit. Why is it? Why s thou?
Why is thou what? What? See, whenever he asks a specific question, he gets knocked out. So you can't hear anything that comes out of him.
I mean, maybe I don't know. Maybe we should.
Drunk frog. Okay.
I can't hardly understand anything that he's saying anyway, and then like he keeps breaking up. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we should wait until another time to have him back on.
Yeah, my volume went to shit, but you know what the fuck I was saying.
I have no clue, because you didn't say anything other than, "Hey, answer my question."
Yeah. What's up?
No, answer the question. I just asked it. It's like, what? What did you just say to me?
Man, it's.
I'm sorry, Dwight. You seriously, your connection is shit.
It sucks that my fucking internet sucks. It sucks.
See, they're all like, "Yes, best stream ever. Love the zombie."
Gotta love zombie, bro.
What's the expert?
Oh, no. See, is he saying something right now?
I don't know. Freaking no.
It's 3 a.m. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Yeah, exactly. Dwight, I'm so sorry, man. We should try this another time when I don't know.
When things are a little more ideal, we'll put it that way.
I'm really having an issue.
A little more
We've been here for
opportune.
like 50 minutes and we've held like 20 minutes worth of content. The rest of the time it's just been chit-chatting back and forth about
Understood.
Monday Night Douche.
Understood. It's cool.
So, yeah, I mean, you're totally welcome to join us at any point in time, but for whatever reason, this connection is just shit, and we've seriously had nothing but I can't hear anything from you. Maybe he had to have some liquid courage. Some people do need to have some liquid courage.
Leave the connection open. Maybe I might have
the expert says, "What are you talking about? This is the best show you've ever had."
Oh my god!
Yeah, thanks, expert. That's wonderful. It's good to know.
He's very kind. He's very nice.
RJ says, "When you're sober."
Sober talk would be nice. That'd be cool. What's the worst that can happen? Yeah. Go ahead. Do what you do.
Sorry, Dwight. I seriously, the whole time I've heard nothing come out of your microphone. There's something totally wrong with the connection, and
this has been the worst that connection's been. It's been better.
It's the worst. I seriously I heard like 2 words. So, no offense, but I kicked you from the show. I can't something isn't connecting correctly. Thank you for attempting. RJ says we can just wait until he passes out.
I was looking at the expert. He says, "Oh, I hear everything. Check your headphones."
Yeah, you hear everything. Right. What are you hearing? Maybe you can translate for us.
Snap, crackle, pop is what he said. That's all we were hearing.
Can you translate that for us, please? We really need we really need a translator in between there.
Oh boy.
He doesn't realize that he's kicked.
Oh boy. Well, I'm going to go over this.
He's still sitting in my back room.
Uh-oh. Well, you figured that out. I'm going to go over this thing here. Sully's asking me what's in the news again. This is what's in the news. Biden hails the passage of the new bipartisan gun law. This is the gun law that everybody was talking about there for a little bit, where they were talking about it's going to be red flag. It's the red flag gun laws thing, and it is the it's got a couple of other different things in it. One of which notable is the boyfriend loophole, which is that if someone is accused, again, they don't have to be actually they don't have to actually be charged. They can just be accused of domestic assault, and the cops can come in and take the weapons from him. If he, or I guess she as well, but they want this to be, they call it the boyfriend loophole for a reason, because they don't want men to be armed. So they will take the guns from his home if they're dating. So like if they're dating and he visits her someplace and then they get into some fight or whatever, and then she's like, I don't like you anymore, da da da, and she gets pissed, she can just call the cops and be like, oh my God, he has a shotgun, he has an AR, you need to like get this out of here, oh my God, he's like, we had a fight and whatever, and like they can just go and just take his rights away, take his right of self-defense, just boop, done, gone. That's what that says. Totally illegal, totally unconstitutional, and yet the freaking Congress passes this shit. And of course, the red flag gun laws are a version of that as well, where the police can come in if someone's been charged or accused or is suspected or whatever. They can confiscate the guns for 30 days, or they can confiscate it for like a certain period of time or whatever, and that is completely unconstitutional. Again, Second Amendment, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Shall not be infringed. So,
ever.
Period. Right. The president
repeat
gathered.
The line.
Yes, repeat the line. Yes, repeat the line. The president gathered lawmakers, stakeholders. That's a phrase everybody should be aware of, is stakeholders. That's what the World Economic Forum calls our lovely global elite people that are of the Fortune 100, are the stakeholders in our global elite class, and families who have lost loved ones to gun violence, together at the White House to commemorate the passing of this gun bill. The bill, which passed Congress with significant bipartisan support, enhances background checks for gun buyers under 21. Again, advances background checks. What the hell does that mean? We already have background checks. Provides billions of dollars for mental health services, which, in other words, is just money in their back pocket because that's shit. And $750 million to states to incentivize crisis intervention programs, which is just, like, bullshit. Critically, it closes the so-called boyfriend loophole to ensure convicted domestic abusers can't purchase a firearm for 5 years. Oh yeah, that's what it was. So like if you're convicted, then you don't get to own anything for 5 years if you were convicted of domestic abuse, which is, to me, is still outrageous. You're not allowed to have a weapon to defend yourself because you got into a domestic dispute with somebody and somebody found you guilty of, like, a domestic dispute or of some kind, or domestic. I mean, it doesn't even say domestic assault. It just says domestic abuse. So if you yell at somebody for too long, that's abusive. You're going to have your guns taken away because you get into yelling matches too much. I mean, that's what this shit is. Let me go to another article on this. Let's go to there we go. I was going to look at Revolver News and see if they had article. They have tons of stuff. Let's go.
Relevant Glitz and Glamour says can't purchase, but do they take any gun they already have?
Can't purchase, but do they take any guns they already? Oh yeah. That's part of the thing, right? Like, so they can't purchase, so they take the guns that they already have, and then they can't purchase. So it's total taking away of your Second Amendment rights because you were charged with domestic abuse, or you were found guilty of it.
Dwight finally figured out that he had been removed. Sorry about it. We couldn't hear anything that was coming from you other than maybe one or two words at the beginning and end of your sentences. I really so sorry, but we need to get some information out and we need to actually do some stuff here. So continue.
Yeah. And Bannon, Steve Bannon. That's the other thing. Steve Bannon was charged by a court today. Shoot, let me pull this up. Because he's supposed to testify, and in front of this committee, the J6 committee hearing, but because he didn't do it another time when they had another type of committee surrounding it, it wasn't this one, it was another one. They charged him with not showing up in front of that one, so he can't show up in front of this one. And I guess they'll charge him with this one too. Like, this is just a whole like circular load of shit. Let me pull up.
What a bunch of crap.
Yeah. Because it wasn't this one, and they said that because Trump didn't waive executive privilege, the court said that Trump didn't have the right to assert executive privilege over him for Congress, which he had the absolute right to do. Anything dealing with the president and talks with the president or anything of that nature is underneath of executive privilege. So let me see if I can pull this up. So many different things. Here we go. Post-millennial. Let me throw this up here. And after this, then we'll go into the different stuff that I would
Again, Dwight, I'm so sorry. There's nothing that we can do. We didn't hear half the stuff that you were talking about. We can try some other time, whenever you'd like. I mean, I'm sorry you feel the way you do, but I
don't think he's
stuff that we
being serious. But
well, I just don't want him feeling bad about it.
Yeah, it's nothing personal.
We can try again sometime. It's just we're having issues. And
so Steve Bannon in June asked for a delay in the contempt of Congress trial set to begin next week, but a judge denied that request along with any real chance of Bannon offering a defense. The trial, which had been referred to as Banana Republic behavior, which, yeah, it is set to start on July 18th. Quote, what's the point of going on trial here if there's no defense? If there are no defenses, asked David Schoen, Bannon's attorney, after the hearing. The delay was requested by Bannon's attorneys, stating that, quote, it would be impossible to guarantee Mr. Bannon a fair trial in the middle of a much politicized select committee hearings, which purport to broadcast investigative findings on topics that are referenced in the indictment, end quote. What Nicholas will allow Bannon to present in his defense is far less than he is disallowed, saying that Bannon essentially could provide evidence that he didn't know the deadlines. Yeah, that he didn't know the deadlines to respond to the congressional subpoena. Judge Carl Nicholas, who was appointed by Trump, rejected Bannon's request to subpoena records and testimony from the House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and members of the J6 committee, chaired by Bennett Thompson. Nichols, I keep saying Nicholas. Nichols said that Bannon also would be prevented from introducing evidence that other of Trump's aides were not charged with contempt. Additional defenses were also limited by the judge, who said that Bannon could not challenge the makeup of the committee itself, nor state that the DOJ was countermanding its own policies by launching the charges against him. So, this goes on here for a little bit longer. I'll play this little bit. This is from Human Events Daily. I think it's like a minute maybe. And this is Jack Posobiec. He's really cool. And he kind of explains a little bit of this. If I can get this to load. Advertisement.
Stupid advertisements.
Shit. Why can't I skip this?
Because they don't want you to. They're like, no, you don't get to skip nothing. You get 3 ads.
Are you kidding me? It won't even let me skip this thing. Wow. That's really shitty. Pardon my Portuguese. Okay, here we go. Is it going to load? No. What the hell? How many advertisements? Well, finally. Okay. And again, I just want to say this because he explains this a little bit.
Here's the situation. They are asking in this committee of the legislative, it's a constitutional argument, right? It's not criminal conduct, it's a constitutional argument. The committee is asking about privileged communications that Steve had with President Trump towards the end of his administration, but while he was the president. What Steve's lawyers have said is that they cannot divulge that information to the legislative branch. Why? Because President Trump has declared executive privilege over them. Executive privilege covers communications of the president, and he has a case that is before the Supreme Court. And so what Bannon has said, as a matter of course, as lawyers' advice, was that he cannot comply with the subpoena because they're not asking him about what he said. They're asking him about what President Trump said. That would be covered by executive privilege. Now, you can look back one way or the other and say, okay, maybe that's not executive privilege, which way or another. But it's clearly not criminal conduct. It's a constitutional debate. It's a constitutional argument. It's not a crime to debate the Constitution. But that's what we have here, because we have a two-tier system of justice. It's not hypocrisy. It's hierarchy. This is banana republic behavior. They're going after the chief advisors to the president of the United States of the opposition. Understand what point in the movie you are in, and you better get ready. You better get ready because we have a lot of work to do.
That's from, again, Jack Posobiec of Human Events Daily on Rumble and, of course, on the YouTube side of things as well. He explains a lot of things really good. How many people do we have here presently? Raise your hands. Talk. How many do we have?
It went down to 3.
Uh-oh.
There were 8 people here when we had somebody in here that we couldn't hear, and it looked like our chat just pretty much died. It shows that there's 3 people. One over on Twitch and 2 in YouTube. Nobody said goodnight. I apologize if everybody didn't like what we actually did to them, but there's nothing we could do. We weren't having any conversation whatsoever about anything in particular, and that's we need to actually get some information out. Do you want to actually cover that right now? Hey, RJ, I'm glad somebody's still around.
Well, I wanted to get that. I didn't want to have to repeat myself.
No, I know you do, and that's why I said, did you want to try covering that, or?
Well, I don't know. Whoever else
we
here
do get
hello,
people that actually watch.
That is true. We do get replay. I keep forgetting that. So I guess maybe I could just go ahead and say.
We usually get about as many people, if not more people, actually watching the replay because of the time of night that we're in.
Yeah, and how long do they watch for? Do they watch the whole? I mean, we are an hour in.
I can't tell. It doesn't actually tell me how long they actually watch. It just says that somebody watched.
Well, I guess we can go ahead with that.
Yeah, you want to try doing that?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
So, AmericaShirts actually has some interesting information from potential personal accounts, and we're going to actually go and let them actually have the floor for a few minutes and hear him out on what he actually has to say.
There's a.
It's on you, man.
There's Killed there.
Okay.
She's back.
Killshot's back.
Hello.
That's awesome.
So my mother works for someone who has a relative that works for CIA. All that was divulged to me was all that was divulged to the family, which is that he is a highly trained individual for the CIA, and that he helps the CIA in planning for different things, cyber, on the ground stuff, whatever, like planning, strategizing for the CIA. Again, what all that involves, I'm not entirely sure. He was visiting family, and oh, okay, cool. Cool beans. And I'll repeat this. I guess this isn't that big of a deal. I just didn't want to go over it twice in one sitting, but I guess I'll just talk about it tomorrow if we have more people, or whenever we have more people.
We get more people that watch on a replay, so go ahead and do what you need to do.
That is true, isn't it? Anyway, I know I just keep like, it's force of habit, I guess.
He just wants to have a bunch of people around when he actually says it.
Yeah. It's just that, but anyway. But yeah. So
do it.
So he was called up. He was visiting family. He was called up. They said, like, we need you here now in DC. We need you here. We need you now. And he got off the phone. He just tells everybody, I got to go. Serious, whatever. Bye. Gets in his car and leaves. He doesn't stop at his house. He doesn't do anything. He goes right to his car and goes right to DC. No stops. Go. Serious. And the family member told my mother, the family member of that individual told my mother about it, and was like, oh my God, I mean, you seem to be kind of up to date on the news. Like, what's going on? Because he can't tell us anything. Like, like, what's going on? Like, what happened? Like, he just got up and left. Like, we were, we were having a little family hoedown, whatever, like, or whatever, like, we were having a family get together. And like, he just gets up and goes. It's like, what? Like, what the hell's going on here? Like, it's never happened before. Nothing, it's kind of, serious of a level, I guess. And my mother's like, oh, I don't know, whatever. And so she comes back home after that, and then she starts talking to me like, hey, hear anything going on? Is the president in danger? Is something else going on? It's like, is there some sort of threat made by somebody else or whatever that they would have to go in or whatever? And I'm thinking, what, who, where, what? And she just kept saying, like, oh, this guy, this is whatever. And I'm like, okay. But what's the agency he works for? She's like, CIA. And I was like, what? She's like, yeah. And I go, really? She's like, yeah, that's where he went. They went to wherever the hell it was in Virginia, where they have CIA headquarters. I was like, oh. And I kept looking around, and I'm like, I'm not really seeing anything else. But this was last night. And last night we were going over all the stuff from the only big thing that I could think of was the stuff we were going over last night. Like I'm saying, the Hunter Biden iPhone texts and the different things that were released from that. And my thinking is that because on the text messages, one of the things that was revealed from the text messages is that Hunter Biden divulges that he knows that the Fed has a hold of and has captured, if you will, or arrested and brought into custody the head of Chinese espionage. That individual was Hunter Biden's customer, or his client. Excuse me, not customer, client. It was his client. So that's big because everybody thought that he dropped off the face of the earth. Everybody that knows anything about this, and I was looking into it myself because it's like, oh my God, like he's the client of, Hunter Biden. Like, gee, and there's audio recording from Hunter Biden's laptop where he literally says he's the head of Chinese espionage. Where the hell is he? We have X, Y, and Z thing to do. Da da da. And so from that, even Hunter didn't know at the time, but then it is revealed that he does know that the Fed is the ones that arrested him. And nobody knew this. So I'm thinking, like, is this something where it's like, is there privileged information leaking to Hunter that they don't want? Is there, or is this just simply something where it's like, oh my God, we have to cover our rear ends because nobody was supposed to know about that. Now the whole world knows. Holy shit. Like, this was supposed to be like top secret stuff. I mean, again, this is the head of Chinese espionage operations. This is the Chinese version of the CIA. The director, the head of it, is taken into custody by the United States government. And nobody knows that happened. We all think that he was taken out by the Chinese because he was sloppy or something else. He was actually arrested. So that's a big deal. The other thing is that the president's son was close to being a part of an assassination attempt. His partner was had an assassination attempt on him, and Hunter Biden talks about that in those iPhone text messages. And of course, there's the child trafficking stuff that was going on, and what was the other thing that I was thinking about? I think that was the only other thing that I was thinking about that would be relevant. And so, but just the sheer amount of blackmailing information that you could get with that iPhone information and that iCloud information. I mean, the laptop was bad, like really bad. But this is like, with this compounded, with the laptop and the iPhone and the iCloud information, this is highly, I mean, this is so highly compromisable. Like, the level of blackmail that you could do on somebody with that kind of information on your kid. I mean, people don't get into high places in government without going through some kind of a background check, generally, unless you're a globalist hacky like these people are. And so, but the level of compromising information that is out to the public now that we all know was there, I mean, could the people in the Fed and CIA be like, holy shit, we got a game plan here. What the hell if something happens where he's fully compromised? I mean, because everything's out there. I mean, this is everything that the Dems kept trying to say that Trump was guilty of, and that Trump is a puppet of Putin, when in reality, Biden is a puppet of the globalists and whoever the hell else has info on him or his son. I mean, that's basically what this is. And so are they trying to wargame this, of how this goes, because they didn't even know this? Or my thinking is they're trying to cover it up because they have to. Because, again, we know our federal government, we know our CIA, they're not working for our best interests. Obviously, that should be well known now. Oh, RJ, yeah, like there were texts that were released a while back, but it wasn't the full iCloud account. That was the big thing, was like the iCloud account. It was all his phones, iPhone, his like his personal iPhone. I think it was
43 different devices that he was using.
43 different devices worth of information in his iCloud account that was released. And it has audio of Joe Biden talking about getting money. There's money being sent, like, hey, get this. I mean, we have everything. Everything. I mean, if you wanted to take someone to court and accuse them of being some sort of a corrupt agent of some kind, doing things as Hunter Biden and Joe Biden have been doing behind the scenes, if you wanted to take them to court for this stuff, and if they were anybody else at this point in time, I mean, he would have been arrested. You would have been arrested.
That's
with
almost
laptop stuff.
60 years ago. When you actually do the math, he was in Senate for 48 years, and then he was part of he was the vice president for 8, and then there was a different president, and then now he's 2 years in. So I mean, when you actually do the math on
I'm not denying that he's not a globalist puppet, or he just became one. I'm just saying, like, other powers now, because of what Hunter Biden did, now have roots into the White House, and they can control things because They now have this level of blackmail on Hunter Biden, on Haley Biden, on other people within the family. They have all of it. We're now just seeing what they may have had other global powers, like, say, China. I mean, hell, maybe even, well, I don't know about Russia, but not, Russia may have some of this stuff, but they're not going to compromise on that. He's too tied to the globalists to do that. But China definitely. And so, I mean, this is kind of big stuff. Apparently, the Fed, and this is my opinion based upon the little story that I just told you earlier. The Fed is flipping their shit over this information. So whenever you hear people, that feel bad, like IDCrisis was talking, like, oh my God, nothing ever gets done, nothing ever happens. It's like things are happening. I mean, I sympathize with that perspective because, we've all been there at times. We all get depressed, we all get angry, whatever. But things are happening. And the release of this information is making the Fed lose their shit, is my take. Because there's so much compromising material. I mean, there's child pornography. There's evidence of child trafficking and human trafficking, point blank. I mean, some of the hookers and people that he paid for, one of the texts came back from one of these hookers, quote unquote, saying, I want to go home. I want to go home now. Can I go home? This young woman is obviously being trafficked. And he's involved with this. We have the tattoos on his back of the Finger Lakes, which is the largest, one of the largest child trafficking or human trafficking areas in the country, where people with money go to get get themselves some human beings to have as their sex slaves.
Killshot has a good one there. It says, imagine if they would have found something about the Trump son. The media would have a field day, but Biden's privilege shuts them up when it's about him. And yeah, I don't know if it's just a privilege that he has, or if it's something that's funded by somebody else like George Soros that is allowing the Democrat Party, I put that in air quotes, allowing them to actually run amok and institute what comes close to looking like communism.
Yeah, but this is going back to the statement or the little thing.
Exactly. I was right. Recruited to run in the Senate in 1972.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, Democrat privilege. Yeah. That was a book by Donald Trump Jr. Or no, that was liberal privilege is what his book was. Anyway, I was making the point with ID when he was on here, like this could be a big thing. What could be released from this iPhone stuff? I mean, that much worth of data, could be a big thing. And you have somebody that, they have to call in someone from
Killshot. That's why we're here, to cut off AmericaShirts. Oh.
Yes. No, you're fine. And that's the chat. I'm just, I'm just getting back to it because I had a little bit of a thought there about it, about something. But yeah, you're totally fine. Go ahead, chat. Yeah, But I was talking with we were talking about IDCrisis and stuff, and it's like, oh my God, like nothing ever happens, and he's in that kind of mode there at the time. Again, like I said, I don't blame him for that. We've all been there at one degree or another when it comes to trying to get rid of corrupt people in politics. But we are winning, and this evidence shows it because the Fed is flipping their shit. This was done by independent people. This was not done by the Fed. This was not done by some sort of big corporation. This was done by the autists on 4chan. Like, so.
RJ says, answer the question, Shirts. I think the last question that was asked of you specifically was from Sully and said, what are the headlines, Shirts? I think.
Yeah, I was going over those, and I'm still going over it. Hopefully, she comes back and watches. But I guess I'll say it again. But yeah. So this is big, in my opinion,
It's
and I think
huge.
they're flipping their shit. And because of the amount of data that's there, I mean, there's records of tens of thousands of dollars going back and forth for quote unquote hookers and quote unquote, other different people for sexual things and so forth. Pictures of child pornography, pictures of him doing all these other different things, obviously. But the text messages from someone who is clearly being trafficked. I mean, these are high level crimes that you cannot hide. And the more we push this out, and see, that's the thing. It's like, that's what I was saying the other day. It's like, we have to keep pushing. We have to keep pushing this stuff out. And thank God for the autists on 4chan, because like, we're getting all of this stuff. We're pushing all of this out. And we just keep pushing. Eventually, the good people that are in the Congress, they're going to take this stuff and they're going to have impeachments. I mean, this is what I was talking about. It's like, this could be the thing that really gets this ball rolling, where we can really say, like, okay, enough is enough. The laptops were enough. We got this. We have Joe Biden clearly, evidentiarily involved in all of this. His son is fully compromised in all of this. He cannot be sitting as the president of the United States and be wrecking this country for all the other things that he's doing. And this, I mean, if we start throwing this stuff up there, if we start throwing pictures, if we start throwing, I mean, as disgusting as some of this stuff might be, blur it out and all that, but we got to do something in the Congress. We have to push for this, for the impeachment of Joe Biden, and to be quite honest, the whole freaking administration there.
The whole administration.
Just keep impeaching.
And maybe you could go even further and just remove everybody that is currently in any position whatsoever in the House, in the Senate, anything, every single freaking one of them, 534 people, whatever. Just remove them all and replace them all. Replace them all with new people. Start over. Because obviously when the government stops working, we need to actually replace the government. And that's the problem, is it runs so deep and so the swamp is so thick that even the Republican side has been compromised, and everybody just needs to be done. Start over. Nobody's allowed to come back, and institute some term limits of whether it be 4 or 8 years, whatever, and that's it. Once you're done, you're done. Yeah, you're still going to have some corruption, because there's going to be somebody that's going to be like, well, I just got done running my 8 years. If you want to keep the way it is, you vote for this person. And, it'd be like their lieutenant or their whatever. And eventually certain things would actually kind of work their way out. RG63, did shirts ever answer the question?
Oh, hey, expert. So
back, expert.
We're winning in the background. Nobody knows about this, but you people now, in my opinion, they're flipping their shit over this information, and they're trying to cover this up, and they're trying to do everything in their power to find out how deep this goes if they don't know. And if they do know, like I said, this is full-blown cover-up. This is full-blown shit, holy shit mode. And you have to remember as well, the CIA is very much deeply involved with most of our news outlets in America today. So they will be doing full-blown silence on this. Full-blown silence mode. And it'll be like, oh, it's a conspiracy theory, da-da-da-da-da, if they do cover this at all. But we are winning, and this is a major blow to the Biden regime. And this, I believe, is enough to really get these other based Republicans to, again, to feel the groundswell of people and this constant push and this constant, again, to the point that people are finding this information, releasing it, pushing it out there, everyone's forwarding it, and just keep pushing and keep the pressure on. And this is what's going to get us across the finish line with getting rid of this guy out of office. And then again, if Kamala comes out, get rid of her, because she'll do the same shit. You just got to keep going down the line. We have to fight this, because otherwise they will wreck this place. We won't have major shipping of any kind, or mass shipping of any kind. We won't have, dump trucks moving. We won't have construction equipment moving. We won't have anything that runs on diesel and a diesel engine moving by November. That's done, and it won't be back for 6 months to a year after that, depending. Now, if we got somebody good into the White House eventually, or at the very least reverse this with the power that the Congress has to do it, which they can do a lot, then it might be 6 months, maybe less. I hope to God it wouldn't be over 6 months, but if it would, it would. Maybe it would be a little longer than that, but we're going to face a lot of shit because of what's going on, but we have to push back or it's total donezo. And this is going to be this thing with the iPhone information, on top of what we already know from the laptop, is going to be is part of this groundswell push of information to get this to get the ball rolling for impeachment. Is what I'm saying.
RJ, can you re-ask the question? Because seriously, I've went back and looked through all of the chat, and I cannot find the question. Apparently, there was a question that was asked of you, and he says, "Expert, as soon as we get, we can figure out the question." Burp. So I don't. There was a question that was asked that we haven't answered for whatever reason, and I don't know how to answer it because I don't know what the question is.
Oh, the question was about the Second Amendment, and I did address it. But anyway, so
I didn't. Still, I went back. I didn't see that question. So.
This is another. I'll pull this up too. And again, don't become black-pilled and don't become apathetic, people, because, like I said, the feds are losing their shit over this information release, because this is going to go all over them. Because if the FBI still does nothing, they are completely illegitimate. I mean, it's not just simply like, oh, we don't like the FBI, we don't like whatever. It's like, no, like, you knew he was trafficking children and young women, calling them, hookers and whatever the hell else. You knew that he was doing all of this other crazy shit. You knew that he was fully compromised. You all knew all this shit. The guy gave you the laptops before Biden even came into office. And there was no investigations. There was nothing. So the FBI will not have any comeback, nor will any of these other federal agencies have any legitimacy unless they actually do their job, which I don't think they will. They're going to try to cover this up, which they're actively doing. So this is a major blow to all of these people. And again, we're going to get a lot of things done because of this. We're going to get a lot of, I really do believe we're going to get a lot of things across the finish line here because of this. This is going to be, again, right? Because if a congressman or woman is sitting there sort of, apathetic, like, oh, it's the Democrats, it's the feds, they get whatever they want, they get whatever, oh shit. And they look at some of this stuff, it's another push of the people to be like, get it done. So, like, let's move, let's push this. This is evil, this is corrupt, we got to get it out of here. And of course, we got to think about the border. We got to think about him shutting off the power, cutting off the diesel, cutting off the, the oil drilling, cutting off our power, cutting everything, all of that. Again, trying to take us off our infrastructure and then claiming that we're going to go to a green infrastructure when there is no green infrastructure even built. I mean, it would be one thing if it was inefficient. It's not even there. It doesn't exist. There is no green infrastructure to move to. There is no transition. It is only collapse. And they know full well they're doing it, and they keep it up. And so we have to push back on all that stuff. And this is just going to be another thing where it's just like, oh my God. And it's going to just get everybody in on it to be like, this is a bunch of shit. He shouldn't be there. This is going to drive his popularity numbers down to like single digits at this point. And this is the thing. Everybody's united on this. We can't have this kind of shit going on.
RJ says, step 1, the Republicans have to win bigly in November. Step 2, they better start the attack day 1 when they assume control, or I'm done with politics for the first time in my life since I was 6. I mean,
they have to do it now. They have to start it now. Yeah. And I think we will begin to see it because this is a major groundswell. Everybody's talking about this on the internet. Everybody's posting about this everywhere. Everybody's sharing out all this information. This stuff is going like crazy, and the feds don't know what the hell to do. They're flipping their shit. That's my opinion. We are winning now, not in November. We're winning now. If we go with this momentum now, and we push, and we're like, we got to impeach, we got to get rid of him. Look at him. He's totally compromised. Look at this. Look at this. Then look at the border, then look at the power supply being cut off, then look at this. Total compromise, total globalist attack, trying to take down this country. And again, look at all of this criminality that he's compromised with because of his son and all the business dealing stuff that he's on audio. It's not even a suspicion anymore. He's on the audio. The congressman can play the audio of Joe Biden requesting and telling Hunter about either getting money or sending money. They can literally play an audio recording of Joe Biden's voice saying this shit. I mean, it's over. We can push this. We have to go with this momentum that we got. It has to be a grassroots groundswell, and it's happening. And as I said before, my whole point in bringing this up again is not only that, there's every day there's more and more stuff that people point out from these
exactly
huge data
dump. That's why he's my co-host, because without him it just wouldn't be right.
But my point in bringing this back up is that because like I said yesterday, some CIA guy just gets a call and is like, holy shit, we got to go. And it's like, I can literally think of nothing else that he would be called in for. That, oh my God, we have to go now. Drop everything you're doing. We got to meet. We got to plan. We could do something. I see nothing else on the board right now that would require that much attention from the Fed as far as planning is concerned. In my opinion, it has to be something to do with this. And so you're getting a little bit of inside information here. You're going to get a little bit of inside baseball. We're winning. We are winning, folks. These people are losing their shit now. They can't control the autists on 4chan at this point. And even 4chan, the website, was shutting it down, but it was too late. They got everything out, and they copied and pasted, and boom, everything was out. It was too late. Even this website, 4chan itself, was trying to take it down, and they couldn't even do that. And if the feds tried to take it down, well, they couldn't do that either, because it's like, well, it's already gone. It's like, and it's already out there. It's everywhere now. It's copied and pasted on like tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of computers everywhere. Just boom, snap of your finger, it's there. Everybody has it, and everybody's pushing it. They can't control it even at this point. I mean, what's the CIA going to do? Just cut off? It's just going to like turn off the power to the East Coast or something, where somebody's computers are that it's at, and just search home to home for like 3, 4, 5, 6 months until they find something on someone's hard drive? I mean, they can't do that. I mean, we are winning in this regard. And even Salty Cracker was talking about on Twitter. He said, watch, the hookers that he's talking about are going to be trafficking victims. Which, again, the texts pretty much prove that, because as I said, one of the texts from a so-called hooker was from that. And then of course we have the Finger Lakes on his back that's tattooed, and we know what the Finger Lakes are. Again, it's one of the major human trafficking ring areas for people who have lots of money and lots of connections up there in Finger Lakes in the state of New York. And we talked about that on the Experts show when we were on there on a Friday night, I believe is what it was. So we have the Congress, and we have a ton of good people in Congress, and we have to push for it. Even if we don't get Joe Biden impeached right now, we get the discussion started. We throw this stuff out there for everyone to see. We put it on, we get these congressmen to put it up on billboards behind them and be like, there's this information, there's this, here's a text message. They read it off. They say, here's the audio. Here's Joe Biden asking for money. Here's Joe Biden saying, hey, son, I got the money for your hooker or whatever the hell. And it's some sort of child trafficking victim or a human trafficking victim, a woman. Like, just play the damn audio. You don't even have to, it's there. It's all there. And the Fed, it's coming out so much so, and there's such a grassroots effort in this regard for information spreading that they can't control it anymore. They can't control it. They're flipping their shit. They can't control the release of this information at this point. The CIA cannot control the release of all this stuff. They can't do it. The autists on 4chan have them. I mean, we have the power. We have the momentum now. Push forward with this momentum. Demand impeachment for everything. The border, the cutting off of the power, cutting off of the oil, the diesel, stopping oil drilling, and claiming that we're going to go to green energy when there's no green energy. You're literally purposefully collapsing everything. We have no alternative. We're gonna shit hits the fan here in the fall with diesel engines. I mean, there is going to be massive repercussions for all these things, and we need to start pushing for this stuff now. We need to start pushing this stuff out in the open and getting the impeachment train going, because that's one of our only options at this point to try and mitigate what's going on, and to get, again, obviously get good people in Congress, but just the impeachment trial itself, just trying to start up impeachment itself and getting a groundswell for this is going to take the attention away from any bullshit that the Democrats would throw out there. This is a complete political 180 to draw everyone's attention to this kind of stuff, to the border, to all of these different things, to, again, the power being cut off, all of that kind of stuff, steering us purposefully and intentionally into collapse with nothing to save us, for nothing to help us, for nothing to transition to, quote unquote. It's literal collapse. For selling for strategic oil reserves to our enemies, that's supposed to be for the United States military. So we have no reserves for oil. This constant push for war shit, which, I mean, I don't know if that would be in the impeachment thing, because, there's a lot of people that are still brainwashed about Russia. But, just the oil reserves thing that's been going on, depleting our oil reserves. Every single thing is total. They're trying to push for collapse. They're trying to push for, you own nothing and they'll be happy. And that spells doom for the average everyday American. No food on the shelves. There's no baby formula. There's none of this shit. It's all going down the tubes, and it's going to get worse in the fall if we don't do something about it now. Now, it'll still get bad, but we can still mitigate it. We can control it. But if we don't do something now, it's going to slip out of our fingers, and God only knows how bad it's actually going to get. I mean, we, the people, can do things ourselves independently. Obviously, our own local communities, our states, so forth and so on, our own local governments can do things. But as far, do certain things for ourselves. We won't be able to do as much as the Congress would be able to do to try to mitigate this from the top, from the executive branch that's doing a lot of this shit. But you can at least, again, go local at that point in time. You should still focus on local stuff. but it would be major, big time. The only thing that you would have at that point in time would be local, because God only knows what else is going to happen. So that's what we got to push for. That's what we got to do. The Fed's flipping their shit. They've lost control. We are winning. They can't control the autists on 4chan, and we're just pumping this shit out there.
So then, real quick,
Push for impeachment.
RJ63 says, yes, FBI could be about an immediate security risk to an individual or event at some place. CIA is more big picture, trying to get ahead of it down the line. And then he says, just a minute ago, says exactly. So look at the big picture. Look at the next big Koof scare, so that they can justify shutting down Congress.
Oh shit!
And anything
That's
else
right.
they can.
Son of a bitch. They're wanting to reinstitute the Koof shit. They're wanting to. They're wanting to.
They've
try
already
to
said that
there
would be a next whatever pandemic. So
now they were talking about
he said it
monkeypox
several times,
and that might still be a thing. But they're trying to bring back the Koof and then be like, oh yeah, I guess monkeypox is on top of that now, and just layer after layer, rather than going from one thing to the next. That's just going to kind of linger there, and you're still going to have different regulations that we're going to try to throw at you for that. But then now here comes in the monkeypox, and then that's going to be even times 10 from that before, and just keep upping the ante there. Yeah, I forgot about that. Holy shit. That's a big thing.
While you were ranting, I actually had pulled this up from the GOPtimes.com, and it's pretty much a big, huge 4chan leaks all of Biden's dirt. I slowly scrolled through it as I read it to myself, so that way I knew that it would be up on the screen long enough for anybody to actually read the screen, and they could actually see what is all out there. So then the latest, it says, here's from Jack. It says, 4chan has found what appears to be Joe Biden's WhatsApp number and have started sending him memes like crazy. Last online. So, I mean, they're...
Is that why he had to take a break and blow his mind,
Maybe. Yes, monkeypox. Read 2 cases were reported in Columbia, South Carolina, and 3 cases in Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah, they had what was it, 10 or 20 something in New York, and yeah.
Which to me doesn't sound like it's so widespread as they're trying to make it sound.
Well, that's how they started with Koof, and then eventually it's like, oh my God, it's everywhere all at once. It's like God, he's omnipresent. Except for when you're eating peanuts on the airplane, you can do that. Or when you're shimmying between people on an airplane, or when you're, at a restaurant, when you're when you sit down for food, but when you walk in, you have to keep it on. Yeah, that's how that works. Anyway.
Photos of Hunter in FaceTime call with a girl tied up with a bag over her head as he eats a sandwich. I mean, there's some weird, strange stuff that comes up.
Human trafficking, right there. I mean, literally. I mean, what does it say? It's a video, right? Photo of crackhead. Yeah, a photograph. Throw that up there in the Congress and be like, hey, his dad's in the White House. The hell is this? And get the conversation started. And steer the direction away from anything the Dems could throw up there. MTG, throw this shit up there. It's all out there. Just get it up on a poster and just throw it up there one day and be like, what the hell is this?
Over 100,000 new cases per day.
Yeah, that's what they're saying, and that's why they want to bring... Yeah. I forgot all about that, Forgot all about that.
We won't talk about their state before they actually caught the Koof. We'll
Right.
What they did to actually, think that they were potentially protecting themselves from such a thing. But
right.
Look at that. Look at this lady. We all know who she is. Look at this 4-star general reading out all these messages and texts and things that had something to do with something. Let's see here. And just think how much money the government spent on printing that out and cutting all of these pieces of paper and gluing them to make sure, or to make this stupid infographic. Like they don't even know how to just send the same info from one computer to another. This is a this is a C word that thinks she can run the world. I live in a world where 4-star generals and presidential candidates get together to analyze shit posts. Yeah, Hillary. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He says Hillary.
Uh-huh. How whatever you want to call her. Just disgusting. But there's a lot of stuff out there.
But yeah, I mean, again, MTG, just throw it up there. Be like, hey, what the hell is this?
Look at this.
His son has a girl tied up with a bag over her head, and we have evidence of where Biden helped to pay for this to go down, and that Biden was involved in this somehow. What the hell
Julia is 26. Oh, really?
And you don't go on impeachment based on that alone, but that would be a shocker to get the conversation going of like, he cannot be in office any way you look at it. He's mentally incompetent. He's totally compromised. Look at this shit with his son going on with this kind of stuff. Look at what he's done with the border. Look at what he's done with this. And just get the conversation started and get it pushed into that direction. At the very least, before the midterms, you could bring all this shit up and then start the conversation and start the impeachment processes now. And then by the time the good people get into office, then we really get the ball rolling with this shit. And we really push it down the line. Because we don't have to have every single seat. We only have to have enough to get the majority through. So in the Senate, that would be 51. And in the House, it'd be a little over half the House, which we could very easily do. And it looks like we're doing. I keep seeing poll after poll, thing after thing in every other congressional race. It's all Republican down the line. And a lot of these people are really based individuals. Senate candidates, there's several of those.
You're saying halfway through, it's like 50-50 chance, most of the, we know that most of the Republicans have something, obviously there's a couple rhinos out there, but there seems to be a couple Democrats that are kind of against them right now. So this is anti-Biden backlash gets brutal. Dems polled about 2024 have an ugly answer for the president. It's bad when even Democrats can't deny it anymore. President Joe Biden has spent 18 months in office destroying the economy and diminishing the country's standing on the world stage, while his establishment media cheerleaders pretend prosperity was just around the corner.
Yeah. And see, that's the other thing, too, is that Democrats on the ground don't give a shit about this anymore because a lot of them are looking at this and going, oh my God, I can't even pay for gasoline. What the hell? And so if you go off and you're like, yeah, he's done this and whatever, a lot of them might not necessarily like it because it's the Republicans and the conservatives, but they won't throw up protests like this and they'll shut up. Now, you'll see Antifa people and you'll see the different people that you saw out there for pro-abortion rallies.
2/3 of Democrats don't want Biden back in the party's nominee in 2024.
There you go. Exactly. His poll numbers are so bad with Democrats themselves that, I mean, most of the people on the ground in the country might actually agree with this, that like, yeah, we need to get rid of him.
Jimmy YouTube says, bad Mike, who dis? What? Hopefully it's not one of us that they can't hear because there's an awful lot of stuff that we've gone through. RJ says, got to go to bed, guys. Aside from the drunk, another great show. RJ, if you can actually enlighten us with the question that we've alluded, please let us know.
It was about
before you take off. I looked through it again, and I still didn't see a Second Amendment question.
He didn't say that, but that was what it was about. He was asking, like, I said it was a violation of the Constitution. He said, "Oh my gosh, you have to answer for that. You have to answer for that." And of course, he's just giving me shit. But
Oh, okay.
But it is if it was a legitimate question, it would be about the Second Amendment. But he was just throwing shade. But anyway, so your points here are good.
Yeah, absolutely. So almost 2/3 of the Democrats don't want Biden's back party's nominee in 2024, with only 13% saying Biden's tenure in office has put the country on the right track. Yeah, okay. I'd like to know who those 13% are. Okay, I just want to be sure that we're actually not forgetting to talk about something that you actually asked, because we do like to keep our chat in with the conversation that's going on or whatever. So then, so President Biden is hemorrhaging support, with only 26% of Democrat voters saying the party should renominate him in 2024. I want to know who these 26% are that think that's a thing. What?
Jimmy.
Rip. Never mind. Guess I was listening to like 30 minutes behind. Oh. Let's see. Meanwhile, Democratic hopes for the Supreme Court's landmark decision to overturn barbarous Roe v. Wade discussion and the right of an abortion it created would somehow galvanize the party's voters appear to be falling flat, with only 5% of voters surveyed calling it the top issue of the midterms. Or, to paraphrase James Carville, the Democratic strategist who masterminded former President Bill Clinton's rise to the White House in '92, it's still the economy, stupid. Okay. And on the economy, Biden has been a disaster. Inflation is at a 4-decade high. Gas prices have been so high for so long, it's hard to remember when former President Donald Trump left office. The average price of gallon of gas was at $2.38. That's nearly a third of what it is right now. That's ridiculous. This here, it says it's about half the price of the national average. I doubt that. I want to say it's at least a third of the price, because I mean, some of these places are the cost of gas is ridiculous. I was just up, and I'm in a small area. I was just up the street today, and I seen that our gas here was sitting at $4.70, which would be that half price. And I know dang well if I go and I went 45 minutes into a bigger city, that it's going to be a lot more than what that was, because that's the one that's on the inside of town, that if you weren't paying attention when you were pulling through off the highway, you'd go to the other one on the other side of the highway and get the more expensive gas that was about 4 cents higher than what that one was. So, I mean, let's see. In the Times poll, found almost 90% of those surveyed considered the economy poor or fair. 58% said poor, 29% said fair. 1%, on the other hand, said the economy is excellent. Which means the percentage of wealthy day drinkers surveyed was about 1%. Wealthy day drinkers. Oh, okay. According to the poll's methodology, the survey was conducted on the 5th through the 7th using landlines and cell phones to reach 149 voters. I didn't get a phone call. Where's my phone call? Because, I'd totally tell you that you're probably closer to that really poor, or like this.
But poor kids are just as cold, just as bright as white kids.
The margin of error was reported at 4.1%, but it would take a margin of error in the double digits to make the results look like anything other than the disaster of the Democratic Party, one that's been more than a year in the making. Combined, the economy and inflation were the top issue of 35% of the respondents, dwarfing the amorphous state of democracy political division category 11% and the mainstream media driven gun policies topic at 10%. But the real issue was Biden and the ugly, unavoidable reality of the Democratic Party's titular leader has effectively received a vote of no confidence from his base that was publicized by the supporters' most influential media outlet. Nobody likes this guy. They're all like, nah. I don't know where these 29% come from saying that, oh yeah, the economy is okay. Anybody that thinks everything's going okay and everything's just tip top right now totally forgot what things were like over the previous administration and still see it as Orange Man bad, and they can't see past that. That's my thought. The article will be down below in the description eventually. AmericaShirts.
Yo.
You're up. Oh, just kidding.
You're our next contestant on The Price is Right.
So I mean, we can kind of move around. We can do some other stuff. We can listen to Karine Jean-Pierre giving a long-winded response when asked about that poll, showing that 64% of Democrats would prefer a different candidate. You want to hear what she had to say?
Who is this?
Sounds good. Karine. You know, our press secretary.
Understood.
Oh,
what was the president's response to a new poll from the New York Times today showing that 64% of Democrats say that they would prefer a different candidate in 2024?
And I would also say from that very same poll, there were 92% of Democrats who support this president as well. Look, you know, not get into politics from.
Wait a minute here. What?
Understood.
What was the president's response to a new poll from the New York Times today showing that 64% of Democrats say that they would prefer a different candidate in 2024?
Okay, 64% say they prefer a different candidate in 2024. What do you have to say about that?
And I would also say from that very same poll, there were 92% of Democrats who support this president as well.
92 plus 64. 160, 156. Oh.
Well, look, you know,
that's good to know that Democrats take up 156%
politics from here or get into any political analysis. This is not something. There's going to be many polls. They're going to go up or they're going to go down. This is not the thing.
They're going to go up and then they're going to go down.
Focused on. We are focused on things like today signing this bipartisan gun reform legislation, which will again save lives.
Taken down
we
at
have
the
more
Supreme
work
Court
to do.
again.
Absolutely.
Again, we just had a Supreme Court decision telling the state of New York they were not allowed to restrict certain things on the Second Amendment as it pertains to, like, you're not allowed to deny someone their Second Amendment rights because you want to make some sort of a regulation of some kind, oh, well, we don't want to issue them a concealed carry permit because of whatever reason. It's like you can't deny them the right to carry around a firearm because you just want to delay it or you just want to do whatever to it because you're the state legislature of New York. You can do whatever the hell you want. No, you have inalienable rights as a member state of the United States, of the several states of the United States. You must follow that and you must adopt those similar things as well in your own state constitutions for the rights of mankind to be recognized by the government and must not be infringed upon by government. This was made very explicitly clear in this recent Supreme Court decision written by Clarence Thomas, Supreme Lord God of all liberal tears at this point, of Clarence Thomas, written by him, the opinion. And so the Congress then just comes around and says, oh, well, we can just pass it then. It's like, what the hell? We just had a Supreme Court. So I guess what the hell we have to do now, somebody has to take this shit to court and have them to reaffirm that, like, yeah, we just ruled on this. This is horse shit. So, and they can't enact all of this immediately. I think they said there was a time frame of like 6 months or something like that. So there's still time to file stuff and still time to try to get this thing in and through. And it might not be effective, but for a couple of months, hopefully, they would take it up very, very soon, since there is a more conservative leaning majority, I should say, on the Supreme Court. So anyway.
Signing this bipartisan gun reform
Yes,
legislation, which will again save lives. Do we have more work to do? Absolutely. We're
Yes,
going to continue.
you're not a cult of
I was
death.
talking
No,
about
you like
inflation
life.
and how
Fuck
important
you. You don't like life.
that is a priority for this president, and how we have seen gas prices go down by close to 30 cents a gallon the past 20.
Where? Tell me where it went down, because I don't see it.
Yeah, nobody does.
I have nowhere that has this ever happened, but you're going to continue to spew your sputum and just shit all over it.
25 plus days. That is something that the president's going to continue to work on, because we still need to give Americans relief. We have seen an economy that has bounced back from when he walked in to this administration over a year ago, after dealing, or still dealing really in reality, with a once in a generation pandemic, and how we've been able to bring back jobs that we lost pre-pandemic, and also just continue to do that work, how we've seen unemployment.
Wait a minute. Did she say we lost jobs pre-pandemic?
Pandemic, and how we've been able to bring back jobs that we lost pre-pandemic, and also just
she said pre, to as though there wasn't anything wrong. There was no jobs lost during. Oh wait, no, that's when all of them were lost, was during, because all of the small businesses shut down.
There wasn't nothing that was lost
corporations
pre-pandemic. Everything was lost just after it occurred. I was one of those people that had an awesome job and got told that I needed to actually go home or whatever, and didn't have a job. I was selling shoes out of the Mall of America. I love that job. It was great.
Do that work, how we've seen unemployment at 3.6%, the jobs number that we saw last week.
That unemployment number is the stupidest number in the world, because you're not actually counting people like me that don't have a job, that can no longer file for unemployment because we haven't made enough money in the year to actually file for the unemployment.
Right.
There's an awful lot of people that ran out of funds that are still out of work. They don't count that because they don't see that random phone call come in, and they, so fucking stupid. They don't know how to count. They're just like, oh, this is what it shows. Well, yeah, that's what it shows, but you're not counting the people that aren't working, period, that can't file, because there's nothing for them to file against. For you to actually, and I don't know if it's from state to state, I know Minnesota was, for you to actually file for unemployment at any point in time in a year, you had to have already made at least $3,000 that year to be able to be eligible to actually pull. Because what do you actually get? The taxes that you paid is what they're giving you back. Which means if you were actually, filed for unemployment and you actually went ahead and were actually getting that stipend on top of it, of whatever, it was like $1,000 a month. Thank you, because that's what bought all my computer equipment. every single time that they actually threw that out there and the extra money, it was actually taken away, and you had to actually pay a lot of it back when you filed your taxes. But are they actually thinking about that? Nah, they don't really give a shit, because they're like, well, we're in the best economy ever, and inflation doesn't matter because I just don't get it. Who the hell thinks that way? Oh, Democrats.
We get 375,000 jobs created in the last month. All of these things is what the president's going to continue to focus on. How do we deliver? Somebody was asking Jake about USICA, also BIA, and all the work that we're putting behind that, because that is a top priority for this administration, because we need to continue to compete with countries like China. So there is so much work to be done that the president's going to focus on and deliver as well. Okay.
So there's that.
But she totally eluded from the question. The question was I can't even restate the question correctly without getting pissed off. I'd have to actually go back and re-listen to it. But it was, what's your response to the poll showing 64% of Democrats would prefer a different candidate? It also says that 90% of this. And it's like, well, thanks for the roundabout circle back question. So stupid. Where are we at? 2 hours, 11 minutes.
Yeah. I think we probably covered everything. We only have one other viewer left. Anyway.
Oh, it just jumped to 2.
Okay, that's because I joined.
Somebody come back in on YouTube. Oh, it was you.
Yeah. Whoops.
No, it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, I mean, there's so much news that can be had and read. It's just you have to actually go through every single website and actually read everything. There's just so much. It's ridiculous. Oh, check that. Let's pull this up real quick just because. Because it's kind of relevant to the stuff that we've been talking about. Look at that. Exclusive Hunter Biden to face prostitution charges for transporting hookers across state line and disguising checks to them as payments for medical services.
Now, what did they try to get Ghislaine Maxwell?
$30,000.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, what was the thing they tried to get her on? Was trafficking people across state lines, was bringing people across state lines. That was one of the charges for trafficking, because some of the charges, I think, what was it, like, it was too late, or it was too, like, they didn't have any specifics on the individuals involved or whatever, and so that was the thing that they were charging. One of the things they're charging with is taking young adults and children across state lines like this. So, and again, for prostitution, that was, pretty sure that was the phrase that was used as well. It was for prostituting them, or it was for, sexual things and so forth. It's trafficking, folks. That's human trafficking right there. As far as I'm concerned. Might as well just say it. Or they might as well just say
it. Some of Hunter's hookers' payments came just hours after he received thousands of dollars from his father. Oh, the big guy. There's so much out there about this particular subject. I'd seriously tell anybody that doesn't have one already, go and create a Telegram account and dig around Telegram. Their sensors are a lot different. Oh, look at that. Julia, $3,400 from Robert Hunter Biden. Oh, they crossed out Kathleen. Huh. Interesting. But look at that. There's articles everywhere about almost all of the stuff that's going on. Disgusting. All right. Being that there's still nobody around, we can just see ourselves out, I suppose. That being said, everybody should actually go check out AmericaShirts, our first.com.
That is AmericaShirts, our bookmark page, of course.
When it comes down to it, if you actually, once that site comes up, use promo code Koolfrogg, get 15% off in anything in the store. If anything, you should actually go check out his Rumble page.
That's AmericaShirts, as you see it spelled on the screen right there. Capital A, capital S, all together, one word. Search it, you'll find it right there on the Rumble side of things.
There is a link down below, so you can actually click on the link. While you're clicking on his link, make sure you click on mine as well. There is a Rumble page that we will actually eventually, I'm assuming we'll actually produce content over there as opposed to doing it here. And there's a locals page. That locals page, I've noticed that I've been gathering more and more people that have actually, I'm going to say I'm up to like 13 or 14 people in there. Think I must actually have to go and produce something over there at some point in time. I don't know what I should actually do. If I should just continue to write silly little stories. Maybe I should write a story about this kind of stuff. That's a thought. I might actually pick up some viewers over that, huh?
Yeah, maybe so.
Maybe so. All right. Everybody have a wonderful night. Love your neighbors. And later.
Impeach Joe Biden. Later, peeps.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.